It's a very busy weekend in West Alabama. So much is going on, and not all of it's happening at the airport or the amphitheater. In fact, something pretty interesting is happening right over in Moundville. Betsy Irwin is here from Moundville Archaeological Park to tell us more. Betsy, thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, glad to be here.
And you brought us some props.
I did. You know, I always love to bring show and tell. These are a couple examples of some pottery that's made by some of the potters that we have out at the park. And we've got a National Endowment from the Arts grant to have a gathering of potters and ceramic artists. And tomorrow is the culmination, and we're having an open show. We'll have a couple of different types of firing. One will be a pit firing outdoor where they'll be firing pottery, and then we're also going to be doing a raku firing. Daniel Livingston with the art department is going to be doing that for us. Potters will be out demonstrating. We'll have like a clay play area for kids where they can make pots. And then, of course, you know, you get to see the museum while you're at it. So
there you are. And you said you'll have an area for the kids to get in there and play with the clay, and that's basically going to be like, you know, Play-Doh for them, right?
Right, absolutely. And we will actually have an air drying clay for them so that they can take their piece home with them. Also tomorrow night at Kentuck, there's a reception at 7 p.m. And all of the artists have had their work on exhibit there for about a month now. And so we're going to have a reception with the artists there, and it is open to the public, and it starts at 7, and refreshments are served.
There you are. And let's talk a little bit about the pieces that you've brought here with you today. Now, this is made, and if I read your information correctly, this is Arts of the Ancients, correct?
Right, right.
And this is made in a way that people living at what time would have made pottery?
About the time of Moundville, and the clay itself is mixed with mussel shell, and that's how you can tell that it was made during that time period. And it's kind of a winged serpent on the outside of it, and that is one of the symbols from Moundville. This is a copy of one of the pieces that's been made there. And it's what we call engraved, which is you fire the pot, and then after you fire it, you scratch the design in. And also the color that you see is not from any type of glaze or dark coloring that's been put on it. What you do at the end of the firing is you put it in some combustible material, and that catches fire, and then you smother the flames out, and that carbon smokes into the pot itself. So that's why Native American pottery will have a lot of color variations because the natural way that it's fired.
And we'll go ahead and sneak this other
Okay, absolutely.
And you mentioned to me the way it's fired. Most people think of, when they think of pottery, they think of, you know, maybe doing the wheel and putting something in an oven for it to bake, a kiln, whatever that might be. But this is actually done in the ground in a fire pit, right?
Absolutely. It's called a pit firing. Some people call it a primitive firing, but you really have to know what you're doing not to blow up your pot, so I don't think it's primitive at all. This is a little fish pot, and it's more like pottery that comes from the Arkansas area, and Lisa Cruz, one of the artists that's going to be exhibiting tomorrow, made that one. And it was also pit fired. What you do is you warm your pottery by the fire and slowly move it in there. If there is any moisture in the clay at all, it becomes a missile instead of a pot. It will definitely blow up, so you really need to know what you're doing. So we'll have that going on tomorrow as well.
All right, super. Betsy, thank you so much for being with us today.
Always great to be here, Danny.
The pottery gathering starts bright and early tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock at the Moundville Archaeological Park. For more information, call 205-371-8732. Find out more online at moundville.ua.edu.